I've got you on my Samsung tablet, and then I have the stream on my phone with got headphones. And
Welcome to the stream. All right, so welcome everybody back to the stream. We do this every Sunday at 6 or 7 o'clock. The stream is going to be a little special because I have a guest, Off-Grid Texas Homestead. He'll be on the stream with me, and we're going to be building a Easy Digi. He bought me last week, so he's going to be there to help me through this, and we're going to have some fun tonight. Are you still there?
Yeah.
All right. So I never actually asked. What was your first name again?
John.
John. There we go. Yep. So John's going to be helping me through this tonight. What is this? Okay. Thanks, Thomas, for the subscription to the channel. Welcome. My voice is a little muffled here. So yeah, we're going to be soldering this thing up here. I got some coffee brewing, and that'll be nice to have once it's ready. And I was saying that the stream was a little delayed, John, so if it's already delayed on your end, but then it's delayed even further on my end, so it might be a little rough walking through this, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So we're going to be building the Easy Digi interface, which is a very cheap, efficient way of enabling you to do digital modes over both HF and UHF VHF radio. It's a interface that pretty much will take the noise out of your lines, as well as regulate the voltage. I think John has a little bit more information on that.
Yeah, what it's going to do is it's going to isolate your computer from your radio on both your audio in and your audio out, and as well as isolate the PTT from computer. So the computer will be able to key the radio, but there won't be any direct connection either through the mic or the speaker on the radio, or the mic input or the speaker out computer.
You know what? Yeah. So, welcome everybody. Sorry, Kilo 6 Alpha Romeo Kilo. He had the same tip that you did there with grabbing a wet sponge. I forgot to do that. I'm gonna go grab a sponge from the kitchen real quick.
Okay.
So I will be right back. But we're still on stream, so you'll be able to talk. Actually, I have my head.
Yes.
Right. So sponge here. So at least we'll have something to the residue with. Clean off the tip. Those brushes, I did. I couldn't find the little metal stuff at Harbor Freight that I saw most YouTubers using. So I got some wire brushes and got a wet sponge here, so we'll be able to use that too. And I want to say, if you're just now tuning in, like if you're already watching this video back, this is a live stream, so I do this every Sunday around 6 or 7 to kind of talk with my my viewers and engage a little bit more. So always feel free to tune in. This is my first time soldering, really. I've had a little bit of practice with the Raspberry Pi once before and destroyed a board, so I wouldn't call that practice, but I've watched some YouTube videos and I think I'm ready for this real project here. People are popping up in the chat. We're up to 15 viewers, so I'm just going to go line by line here on the instructions as it says. So those let's see here. The 1N41488 diodes, D1 and D2 I have here. Wow, that camera is...
Just make sure you put those in, because they have to be put in the right, in the right position.
No, right polarity. So yeah, I see on the board there's they're kind of they've got like a little symbol with the left side of it blocked off. So I assume it's the same thing on the diode here. It's got a little black mark on the left side. So I guess I should line those up just like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The symbol for a diode is a bar or a line with an arrow going to it.
Gotcha.
And what that means is voltage will not flow from one side to the other, but it will flow from the other side. So it stopped in the direction that the arrow is pointing, but voltage will flow from the opposite direction.
Oh, okay, cool beans. And I assume that I'm putting them through the holes from the top where the diagrams are. Not, I guess this right here's the back part. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it is gonna be it's gonna be a good little project, Bobby. This is gonna be. I've been trying to get into kind of building my own little equipment from the circuit boards and trying to get to soldering. So I think this is gonna be a good entry level little project for me. If I can not shake so much, I think we'll be good to go. So I got that first little diode in there. Now, do I need to give much room on top of the board for the diode, or should it just be clamped down onto the board?
I would go pretty close to the board.
Okay.
And then on the back side of it, just kind of bend the legs out to where it doesn't fall out.
All right. So I've got the legs bent there, and I assume here I've got a 10 mil soldering iron, so I got to touch the solder to it and see.
Yeah, what I do is I generally kind of touch the leg, the wire that goes through, and right there where the trace is, and just let that get heated up, but not so hot that it actually melts the trace or makes the trace peel off the board.
Okay.
And then just feed your solder into it, just a little bit at a time. You'll see you can start your solder on your tip. It just make sure your tip and everything is tinned before you do that.
Gotcha.
Make sure it's clean. It's really good and clean, and kind of roughed up a little bit.
And to do that, just touch the solder to the tip.
Yes. If you had any flux, I would suggest dipping it in the flux first, and then cleaning it off, and then putting solder on it. But that solder that they include has a little bit of flux.
Okay, so there's a little bit of solder built onto the tip now. Is that something I need to clean off?
Not really. Just make sure your tip's kind of clean.
Okay. All right. Oh, thank you so much, Macbeth, for the $20. Have you ever tried your radio on a night with a meteor shower, greater range? I haven't read too much on meteor showers. I don't know much about how the radio wave propagation is affected with meteors. So if anybody knows, though, be sure to let me know. That's an interesting topic. But thank you so much for the $20, Macbeth. That's awesome. You're amazing. You're always there. Sorry, what were you saying, John?
I would just touch that to your component and to that trace.
Okay.
And then watch the flow of the solder as it, you'll see it, and you want it to flow and kind of be shiny and not a dull gray, but a shiny gray. And then just pull your soldering iron out, and then you can always go back in there. It's better to pull out too early than to leave it on there too long, because if I remember right, with those boards like that, the traces are kind of small, and so it doesn't take much heat to get them hot, and they'll peel off if you leave the iron on there too long.
Gotcha. I'm gonna put something down on this thing that's not too heavy to weigh it down too. Like a.
Are you soldering on the back side?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's see how this goes here.
All your white lettering and your lines and everything will be on the top side, and then the back side of it would be your where you would solder.
I think I got my first connection.
All right.
Solder is still connected. Do I just cut it off?
The solder stuck to it.
Yep.
The
leg.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. You can. Yeah. Oh, the leg. The leg. Yeah. Let's have a look at it. Can you hold it up to the camera?
Sure. Yeah. Let's see if I can get it to focus. It's a little delayed, so it'll pop up here in a second.
Okay.
Let's see. Have you ever tried one of those butane soldering irons? I have not. Personally, this is actually my first soldering iron. I don't have a whole lot of experience doing this, so this is new for me.
Yeah.
I would like to have a temperature-controlled one, but
I have a couple. I have a couple of those, and then I have one just like what you've got in your hand there. I bought one at Harbor Freight, in fact, the other day, just to have an extra. I got it on sale, so.
I looked over the video and it finally showed up where I showed the board, but it's pretty delayed. I don't know if you got to see it or not, or if it might be coming across here soon.
Yeah, you're clipping the solder.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can. Yeah. Hold it up there, kind of. Yeah. Just. I mean, if it looks good and it's flowed and everything, it's kind of hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's looks good and it's flowed and everything around the outside of the lead, then and you're satisfied with it, and it looks like it's made good connection, because you can always kind of tug at the diode on the back side of it, when it's cool a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of tug and see, because you want a good electrical connection and a good physical connection.
Gotcha.
So you want to make sure that it's in there solid, and if you kind of tug at it on the back side just with your finger, or just kind of maybe stick a small little screwdriver up under the edge of it and kind of just give a little bit of a gentle, a little bit of gentle force on it. If it seems like it's good, then, clip it off if you want. Did you get
That one looks amazing. That second one I just did looks a lot better than the first.
Mm-hmm. You can always go back and touch it up. I mean, you can always, but as long as it looks shiny, you want it to look shiny and not dull.
All right. Yeah, let me. I'll show you the second lead here. As soon as I get it clipped off.
And you may have to.
Yeah, that one right there looks good. I don't know. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus on it. I'll move it around a little bit.
You may have to.
What's that?
You may have to get it pretty close to the camera in order to.
Yeah, we'll see what it looks like. I think that looks pretty good. It looks a lot better than what I was doing. What I did, you don't even want to see what I did to my Raspberry Pi. That thing is gone. It's fried. But let's see. It should be coming up here soon where I hold it to the camera. Let's see what people in chat are saying. Yeah, it would be nice to have a third hand. I think, let's see, John recommended, was it called Helping Hands from Harbor Freight?
Yeah, it's a helping hand. It's a little.
Yeah, the camera's not focusing very well. I can see it. It's not. Oh well. You know what? Actually, it would probably be faster and better if I did it over my webcam. Nope. Just as bad. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good though. It's nice and shiny. There's not any residue around it, and it's
Yeah, it
seems pretty secure.
looks good. Yeah.
So
it looks good.
Heck yeah! All right, this isn't so bad.
Yeah. What I like about these little kits is they're great for. Oh yeah, it looks good. It looks good. Yeah, these these little kits are great for a first starting kit because it's all audio level. There's no RF or anything involved, so you're not worried about RF issues when you're soldering.
Right.
It's just it's all audio. It's all easy to do. It's everything's there. You get everything in the kit, and it's a confidence builder.
Yeah, it seems like
After
it.
you get finished with this, you're gonna be like, well, what else can I build?
Right, yeah, I'm already feeling that way. I'm already feeling pretty confident because I didn't think that I could even solder what I have been here, but it's going pretty well. Going pretty well
Yeah.
so far. So those two weren't as shiny. It looks like a good connection, but it's not super shiny.
It'll be. I'm sure it'll be. The after after a while, after doing this for a while, you'll get to where you learn what, because really all you want to do is just avoid a cold solder joint.
And what makes a cold solder joint?
Cold solder joint is just it's not enough heat was applied. The solder didn't flow correctly, and it will look kind of a darker, duller gray,
Mm-hmm.
and that it's just a bad connection. It can
Gotcha.
cause it can be a bad connection. It's just from not enough heat being applied, because it's kind of a it's kind of a uh, it's kind of you have to put just enough heat, but not too much heat.
Yeah, that makes sense. Seems like it's definitely a skill you would acquire over some practice.
Yeah.
So I've got those two diodes done, and it looks like the next part is find the locations for the two 2.2K 1/4 watt resistors, R2 and R3, and install them.
Hmm.
Okay, and that looks like the little blue ones, little blue long ones. Now, does the polarity matter on these? They look kind of the same.
No,
Okay.
no. I generally put everything pointing in one direction with
Mm-hmm.
like resistance and things, but it doesn't really matter. You can put them in either way,
Gotcha.
because you'll have like a gold or silver band on one end of.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still
Okay,
here.
sorry. It sounded like you cut off, but you're okay.
Well, like there's the gold or silver band on those on the resistors, and I generally just put them all with the gold or silver band, you know, towards, say, the right hand side, and then because they because they actually start, whenever you're looking at the values of it, they
Mm-hmm.
start opposite of the gold or silver band.
Oh, okay.
The opposite end of that is where it starts at.
I'll lay them out the
Exactly.
same.
The the gold or silver band is the percentage of tolerance that they are. So they'll be like 10%, 5%, 20%, just depending on what band, what whether it's gold, silver, or
Gotcha. So R2 and R3, triple check here to make sure I got them in the right place. And yeah, this is coming together already. Like doing this a lot easier than I thought it would. I thought soldering was a super difficult to do. I'm sure it'll get. It's not. I'm sure it's not super pretty, but I think it'll get the job done for this first time.
Yeah.
So let's see. Yeah, the SO239s. I'll have to upgrade my soldering gun. But if I'm going to be doing this, that's going to be one of the things that I want to invest in. I would just, yeah, if you're going to be building your own stuff, you need a good soldering iron.
Well, you can do 85 to 90% of what you need to do with that 30-watt solder.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, it kind of freaked me out a little bit because I was looking at YouTube tutorials and almost every single one of them, like this thing's crap, don't even try to use it. I'm like, oh boy. But it doesn't seem bad.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm cheating a bit with some of these because what I'm seeing happening is solder is building up on the tip, and then I just touch the tip to the board and it forms the connection all right. Is there a downside to that, or is that?
No, there shouldn't be. I generally like the solder has a rosin core. The flux is a rosin flux, and generally the solder will have an inner center that has a little bit of flux in it, and the solder will flow better with a little bit of the flux. So I would, sometimes dab a little bit of solder on it to allow a little bit of the flux to go in there with it and for it to flow. But what you can do is you can actually, if you can just take your tip and drape and just drag it through your sponge, and just make sure your sponge is wet, and then you just drag that tip through there and kind of clean it off, and then you can go back in there and just minimal amount of solder. You don't have to put a whole lot on there. It takes some time, some practice, and some time, but you'll get it figured out. You'll find what works for you, and you'll see how the solder flows.
See, I'm going to get these leads done here, and I'm going to try again for another camera shot. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, this is a fun little project.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know the individual that built this or made it?
No, but I probably bought about 15 or 20 of them from him.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah.
See if I can get a good camera shot.
I've given some of them away to new hams in my area.
Oh, I got the camera to focus that time.
Okay.
So it'll pop up here soon. Let's see what's going on in chat. So tomorrow's video is going to be a I guess the FT3D review I did. I made some mistakes in the video and muted the audio some places, but it got pretty good reception. So I've been using the signal stick for a while, and I decided I would do a review on it. That video is going to. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. It'll be released tomorrow too. So if y'all are interested in the signal stick, I've made a pretty detailed review about its different uses and nuances and stuff like that. So
is your sponge wet?
It could be wetter. I'll go throw some more water on it.
Yeah. What I would do probably is get like a little plate or something and just set it on there, and then wet it, get it damp, and then
Okay.
just wipe your tip on it while it's laying.
Let me see. I'll be right back. I'll go grab a bowl. But it looks like the video is finally coming over my side of the solder joints. It'll focus here.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I can't hear you. Let's see. Give me 1 second here and I'll get you back up. Can I hear you now? All right, I'm going to have to restart Discord and I'm going to give you a call right back. Technical difficulties. Too many moving parts here. All right, see if I can hear you now.
Okay.
There we go. You're back up.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it came across the screen there, the solder joints. Did it focus up? All right.
I don't think it's. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay. Man, this thing is slow. Actually, I think it might be frozen. Oh boy. Yep. Technical difficulties.
Yeah. Your video of you is good, but the video of the desk is frozen.
All right.
And that happens with my phone too. Sometimes the chat freezes.
Here we go. Hopefully we're back up here. Yeah. Should
I
be
think so.
should be good to go. Sorry about that, folks. All right, so let's see. We got those resistors on there, and I think they're looking all right. Nice and shiny. Now we're to the 220 ohm 1/4 watt resistor R1 and
Yeah, I didn't see the board or anything, so maybe it got frozen.
it might have 220 ohm resistor. Which one is that? Oh boy. Oh boy.
What happened?
I've done something.
What did you do?
I think I soldered the shoot. I think I soldered one of the 2.2k ohm resistors. Or I think I soldered the 220 ohm resistor onto the 2.2k ohm resistor. I didn't notice, so they're blue, but one of them has 2 black stripes and one of them have 1 black stripe.
Uh-huh.
So I assume the one with the 2 black stripes is the 220, right? I think that's the way it goes here, because that's the only one that's different. So I'll have to desolder that. So we'll get some practice desoldering too.
Yeah.
I think.
Did you already cut the leads on it?
Yeah, I
Okay.
sure did.
It'll be all right. It'll be okay.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
It should fit right back through there.
So yeah, it'll be okay. So with the desolder, I guess I just want to make sure, because that's the only one that's different. They're all three blue, but one of them have two black stripes, and all the rest of them have one black stripe.
Yeah.
Okay. So I put my desolder on there, and heat that up, and then slap my pump on there and hope for the best. That's what you need 3 hands for. My goodness.
Yeah. What you do with that, with the vacuum pump is you heat it, and then see if there's a way you can hold the board down,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of clamp it down or lay some weight or something on it, and then hold your soldering iron and your desoldering your pump, the vacuum pump. You heat it, and then you just don't be afraid that you're going to burn the end of the pump. Just stick it right there on it and hit that button.
Okay,
Let that thing, yeah, and you get that solder hot and just draw it up in there. It'll clear that hole and everything.
See what happens. Oh shoot, the pump wasn't even ready to go. Okay.
Work?
I think so. I'm gonna try the other one here and see if I can pull it out.
What I do is I get some like go to Harbor Freight and they have hemostats there.
Uh-huh.
The little clamping like clamping tweezers, and you can just clamp that onto the lead on it on the backside, and then once you get it loose, a lot of times that the weight from that will actually just pop it off of it or pull it off.
I think I got a little bit of it out there, but not all of it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, those hemostats, they can act as a heat sink, which like with transistors and parts like that that are sensitive to the heat,
Uh-huh.
they will allow you to heat the area where you want to heat, but they will draw the heat away and keep the heat from passing up the lead to the transistor.
Gotcha. See if I can start fishing this guy out of here. Yeah, the legs are still there, so that's still manageable. I don't have my pliers aren't really small enough to grab those little legs, but okay, it's all right. Yeah, I mean that looks like it's coming off pretty good. Let's see if it's enough. Almost got one leg through. The other one's being a little bit stubborn, but we'll try it again here.
Another thing that I find that's helpful is at Harbor Freight, they have they're called magnifier with lights, the head strap magnifier with lights,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like $5, $6 at the most, and it has various magnification lenses that you can flip up or move around, and it gives you a close-up view when you're working on small parts and things. They're very handy.
Yeah, that sounds like it. Might have to invest in one of those. Yeah, I've got most of the solder, but there's just a little bit more keeping it in there.
Do you have, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Do you have some braid?
Yeah.
Solder wick? Yeah, you can use that. You can use that solder wick also.
Let's see.
Just lay that solder wick on there and put your soldering iron on the back side of it and draw it up inside there.
It's wanting to come out, but it's sure being stubborn.
Well, if you have a little screwdriver, like a tiny screwdriver or jeweler's screwdriver, slip it up underneath the lead that on the back side of it, on the side where the components are, and then just heat it. Hold the board in your hand and heat the connection, and kind of use the screwdriver to kind of pry a little bit.
I don't think I have one small enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna get it. Almost there. I think if I tugged on it hard enough, it'd come out, but I'm about afraid.
Yeah. I mean, you could actually take the orange handled little nippers and just gently, or the needle nose, and just gently hold that and then heat it a little bit, and it should come free.
I'll try that next year. Yeah, because it's.
Yeah, just don't break it. Break the. You don't want to get real rough. Also, you can use like a paper clip. Fold a paper. You can fold a paper clip out and just put it up under there and use it as a little lever, and just heat it on the back side, and it will pop through.
Oh, really?
You just, yeah, or heat the lead of it on the top side where you see it. You can actually slip the paper clip through, and then just kind of give a little bit of a tug and heat the lead on the resistor, and it should loosen it enough to where it just pulls out.
I need to. Might have a paper clip laying around here.
Yeah.
Let's see. I do not. I'm going to try to just touch the pin tip onto it. I feel like if I could tug on it a little bit while I'm touching it on the other side, I could get it on out of there.
Or you can slip the tip of the soldering iron up underneath it and use it as a little pry tool and just pop it off there.
Ooh, burnt myself, but I got one of them. Ooh. I didn't burn myself bad. It was just
You haven't soldered until you burnt.
that. I mean, that did the trick. That pretty much popped it out of there. I think it might have resoldered at the very end, but yeah.
But you can heat that up.
Yeah, it's just a little bit left in there, holding her together. Well, shoot, if I just keep on doing that, it'll wiggle right on out of here.
Mm-hmm.
She's almost out. Wiggle right on out of here.
Turn this down.
There, got one leg out. This other one's gonna be a little tougher. Well, actually, no, I might have a little bit more leverage here. Yeah, that last leg is gonna be a pain. You try to skip a little bit more solder out of it.
If you just heat it up and get it loose enough, you can get it to pop out there. Be careful, don't.
Yeah, let's see.
Somebody in the chat said it's like you need a soldering. That's what we were talking about with the helping.
Yeah. What do you say? Soldering stand. Yeah, I definitely need a soldering stand. This looks like a big mess right here. It was going well until I had to desolder.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll get it out of here. I've almost got that last leg out. But man, this is a pain. I'll tell you one thing: the soldering was a lot easier than the desoldering.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have one leg out and you're able to just hold it and quickly put a little heat to it and pop it out there with your hand, that. Or you can grab it, with your needle nose. Hold the leg that is in there on the back side of the board. Just hold it and heat it, and it should come loose. Wiggle it around. You can.
Well, I've almost started a fire here. I laid my soldering down and it touched the paper. All right, so and this last leg.
Just hold it like that. There you go. I'm seeing. Just heat that and pull it loose real quick. As soon as you get it, you feel it's loose.
I think the fun part's going to be getting it back in, getting another one in there.
It'll be okay. Grab it with your needle nose.
There we go.
Get it?
I got it. I think I broke the lead on it, but I think it's still got enough. It's got enough space in there to be okay. I'm gonna have to get that. I'm gonna have to push that lead out, but it'll be all right. I got it. So now, first thing I'm gonna do is take that with the 2 black stripes and try to solder it where it's supposed to be. So the 221 is supposed to be going to
Yeah, if you look on your instructions
R1.
Yeah, there. It should show. See where you laid the soldering.
Oh, you should see the paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little stain here. I need to start putting it on there. All right, so not a big deal. Learned how to desolder some, so that's nice. And I've got enough room here to get my legs back in where it's supposed to be. So I think the only challenge now will be getting that little pin out of the solder joint there. Oh, actually, I just pushed it out with my finger. How about that? Well, mostly. Yeah, that'll be the challenge, but now if that thing heated up quite a bit when I was doing that, it's okay, right? Let's see what's
It should be okay as long as the trace doesn't come off there. You'll be all right.
if it smells like chicken, you're holding the iron wrong.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at.
All right. Yeah, so we got a little baby leg there, but we're gonna work with it. We got it.
Yeah, and the thing of it is you can always keep the little pieces you cut off. If you do damage a part enough to where there's just a little nub of it sticking out, you can always solder the one leg that's still good on one side, and then you poke pick up one of the legs that you cut off, that you nipped off,
Yeah.
and just poke through the hole from the bottom side of it and make a little loop on the top of it and loop it around that stub that's sticking out on the resistor, and then kind of crimp it on there and tack solder that on there, and then pull the lead down into the back down to the board through to the side that you solder, the solder side of it, and then you can solder that back, and you can solder that in.
Thank you so much, Big Beth, for the $2. I always appreciate your donations. If you have locking pliers for a third hand,
Yeah,
jump to that as a temporary solution.
Yeah. That's what I was talking. That was what I was talking about with the hemostats. Yeah, they have various sizes there. The larger ones are like $5.99, and the smaller ones are $2.99.
I'll have to check them out though. That's gonna be that'd be a good thing for my the donation money there. That'll pay for some a little bit better soldering equipment. So yeah, I wanted to get into making antennas too. So, and I know that's got a lot of soldering involved in it. All right, so yeah, that one's looking a lot better. That's actually this. I've got the soldering I think down pat, but the desoldering, that's a tough one. So now I've got to fish this old the resistor back into the hole. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna have to make
what you can do, and what you can do sometimes is heat up the board and get the solder flowing a little bit, and then take that brass brush and just brush that off. That will clean it a lot.
Oh, I've messed up now. I went to desolder and I stuck my nose to the board there and didn't realize I had solder on the nose, so I soldered it even more.
It'll be okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I'm gonna have to make a new hole there.
Just heat it up and then use your solder and just pull it. It should make it either that or get one of the little leads, the legs, and don't heat it up. Just leave it cold, but grab one end of it with your needle nose, and then heat up the board and just real quickly, and then poke that through there. A lot of times that will push the solder out of the way.
All right, I'll try that out. That's gonna need a third hand. Let's see. Lean it off the desk here. All right, I've got an idea. Lean it off the desk, put a little bit of weight on one end of it so I have enough to push down on. Try not to burn the duct tape up here I've got it sitting on top of. Tell you what, I don't think this guy's coming out. So I'll ask you this.
Is there any of it sticking out that you can grab with a needle nose?
No, it's all in the middle of the hole. If I lay that leg over the top part of it, and I'm precise.
Take your solder iron and just put the tip of it right on that and kind of push it through. Yeah.
Let's see if that'll work.
Try not to heat up board.
The other side looks like it's clear.
See, it may just be solder blocking that hole, not be. Is it actually a piece of leg or is it just solder block?
I feel like if I had something sharp enough, I could just go through it.
Yeah.
No, it's a leg. It's a piece of leg. So I'm gonna makeshift this here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna solder it right over the top. Is that something I can do? As long as it's a clean? Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be my.
You just make sure that you've got a electrical pass through going through the board to the circuit, the traces on the backside of it.
Okay. It's on the edge too, so that's a good thing. But I think I can get a pretty good connection if I do this right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be just fine. That's gonna be just fine. Yeah, that's it. It's still, even up top, it's a good shiny connection, so I think that'll do.
Yeah.
Oh, and it even came all the way out through the bottom too. So it must have been like a very small hole, but it wasn't big enough to get the leg through. But I think I've got a good connection. Sorry guys, it's hard to pay attention to the chat too. Got here late. What are we soldering? What type of project? Code. We are soldering a easy Digi that's off-grid, Texas off-grid. What was your channel name again?
KD5INM. KD5INM.
KD5INM. He bought me this easy Digi because he saw I was having some trouble with getting my digital modes up and working with the setup that I have. So this thing pretty much just regulates the pretty much the current and reduces noise between your computer and your radio, and it's a very cheap solution. So it was very good for me to have a little solder project too. I should have put the link to the Easy Digi there in the description, but maybe somebody can link it. But yeah, very cheap solution to getting your digital modes right, and the way I understand it, it's pretty efficient too.
Yeah, it handles impedance matching.
There you go. So yeah, I'll try to get this clip in the camera here. Last time I did that, there's an autofocus button here. I might try. Let's see if I can get this to focus right. Yeah, that camera's so delayed. And I'll let me try to bring it up on the webcam too. I think if I use my, I'm going to upgrade my webcam next, but yeah, it's pretty blurry. I think it might have been clear on the camera. We'll see when it comes around. But yeah, it's a cheap solution to digital, a good digital interface if you don't buy Signal Link or a Rig Plaster or one of the big guys there. I think that's going to be a good connection. So let's see what's next here. Find the location of the 4N25 optocoupler and install it to U1 optocoupler.
Yeah, that's the 6-pin package.
Oh, okay, the little white guy.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah, you just need to make sure that you put you put it in the correct, because it's indexed on the top of, it should be indexed on the top of the 6-pin package, and then it should fit. It should be marked on the board.
Macbeth 18 coming in with another $5. I just received my COVID-19 stimulus check from Justin Trudeau. Canada is a communist country, so I have to share it with you all. Well, I really appreciate it, Macbeth. Thank you so much. It's definitely going to come back through the channel, and it's either going to buy me one of those helping hands, or it's going to go toward another soldering iron. But I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the money that you donate there, and thank you so much. Sorry, what were you saying, John? It has to be oriented the right way, right?
Yeah. If you look on the top of the 6-pin package, it should have a dot or a mark on there. and that I believe that indicates that it's pin number 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So there's the dots, and it's on the bottom left. It looks like. Let's see. Pin 1 of the optocoupler is indicated by a small circular indentation on the top left corner. Oh, okay. Of the IC. Orient pin 1 of the optocoupler to the pin 1 location of the circuit board. The leads of the optocoupler will need to be bent inward a slight amount to fit in to the circuit board. So the top left. That's still a little bit. In the top left corner of the IC. I don't know which way is the top left corner of the board though.
Okay, you see where the IC is? You see where it's got that knot?
The IC.
Yeah, that's the little 6-pin package.
Okay, yeah, I've got it here. And
See, okay, you see on the 6-pin package, and on the board you see a little diagram drawn on the board that has a notch in it in the center on one end.
yeah.
Okay, that's the direction that number 1 should go to.
Okay. So the notch is on. It's in the middle on the right side of the board. The notch is on the top left. It says. So I reckon it should go like this right here. I'm gonna pull up. I'll see if I can find a picture of it real quick, just in case too. That I'm just to make sure I'm doing this right, because I know you can't really see it on the camera too well. I thought I'm gonna have to. Next time I set this up, I'm gonna have to do something different with my camera.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have to keep getting up and trying to autofocus it.
So you should be able to see on the board. It should have pin number 1 marked.
Yeah, it has it marked. Okay, yeah, you're right. It's a different shape from all the rest of them. It's a square instead of a circle.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe that's what it is.
All right.
Yep, that's what it is. I'm looking they've changed the design of the EV Digi, and around here I do have some of the ones like what you have, but I'm looking at diagrams of the older ones, and basically it's circuitry and everything's all the same. So it is showing that it is a square.
Adjusting the camera some here. Since it doesn't want to. I'm working on the camera quality, guys. It'll be better next stream here. So I found out that this ain't working. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and solder this guy here. Find some more. Yeah, but this is a neat little kit. If anybody's getting into digital and they want to learn to put together their own components, I think this is a really good route. It's not very difficult.
Yeah, if you combine this with a little USB, like I bought some they're little USB sound card dongles. Like the ones I got are the it's spelled SYBA. It's I guess Syba or something like that. But I picked these up on Amazon, and I think they were like $5 a piece, $6 a piece, and they work great. You can plug in everything into those, and then you can plug them into your computer into a USB port, and it gives you a sound card.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I got. I got one of those really cheap ones on Amazon. I think it was $5 or $6.
Yeah.
These pins are a little closer than the others, so I'm being a little bit more cautious.
Yeah.
With making sure that they don't contact each other.
We'll just wipe your tip of your soldering iron and then touch it to just kind of bend the leads a little bit on the backside, and then touch that to the lead, and then put solder right at the lead and where the lead and the tray come together, closest point there. And it should melt enough to make the solder flow onto the lead and then onto the trace.
Yeah, it's looking good now.
And then pull your soldering iron. As soon as that flows and you see it flow and it looks good, pull your soldering iron out.
Yeah, those are looking good. Feeling pretty good about this. All right, see the next part. Find the location of the two 0.1 UFD or 0.2 UFD capacitors, C1 and C2, and install them. The capacitors are not polarized, so they can be installed either direction. Push the capacitor down close to the board, but do not force them completely down or you will break the body of the capacitor. Solder the clip leads off close to the board.
Mm-hmm.
Capacitors, I guess, are these little red things.
Yeah.
Okay. And they are at C1 and C2.
Yeah. Did you get D3? Did you get it?
D3, was that the
It's a diode, but it's a black diode with a. Is there a D3 on that?
there should be, yeah, I have it here. It's the is that the 600 ohm transformers? No.
No, it's a diode.
Maybe I skipped that step somewhere. Oh, there it is. Find the location of the 1N400 one diode D3 and install it. Okay. Yeah, I should have grabbed that one first.
Was that number 4 on your
Yeah. Yep.
list? Okay. Because we jumped that.
Yep, I skipped right over that. Observe the polarity. The band on the diode must be oriented to the band on the circuit board layout. And that's on D3. Oh, there we are.
I didn't want you to forget that.
Yeah. I don't want to
So
forget
you got
anything.
all 6 legs of the opto isolator.
Yeah, one of them I kind of want to put another little bit of soldering on there, but I'm starting to get to where I don't know, I kind of feel like a natural when it comes to what is somebody subscribe? Oh, hello Frank Ireland. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Welcome. It's been a long time since I said this, but welcome to the stream. If you all haven't tuned in before, I do this every Sunday at 6 or 7. We do like ham radio related things. This stream's a little special because we have a guest, KD5 INM, and he's helping me build the Easy Digi for digital notes. So welcome to the stream. If you're new. All right. Commence the soldering. Yeah, these pieces are a little small. I was hoping I wasn't going to knock them off my desk. The animal come in here and start messing around with them. Yeah, the clear liquid, is that the flux?
Yeah, flux is like the flux that I use is kind of a brown. It's almost like tree sap. That's basically what it is. It's like a tree sap.
Interesting.
What it does is it keeps the connection that you're trying to make. It keeps it from oxidizing.
Now, is it okay if there's flux between two of the connections?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine. You can later on you can take your little brass brush and kind of clean that off, or a toothbrush,
Okay.
a toothbrush. Just kind of clean that off.
Now those the blue pieces there, I guess that's the, what was that, the resistors?
Yes,
One of them might got a little hot when I was trying to desolder it. Is that okay? Like how
it
hot?
should be hard.
Okay.
It should be okay. They generally can take a lot more punishment than what say that opto ice, because that opto isolator is actually an LED and a photo transistor in a 6-pin package.
Uh-huh.
So it's actually a transistor that will conduct when light strikes it. Because they do make photo transistors that are separate 6-pin pack. It's just a photo transistor that's just conducts whenever light strikes.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and put in C1 and C2. And it said not to make it too close to the board.
Yeah, when you're putting the capacitor on there,
Uh-huh.
you don't want to push it down. You don't want to push it down so tight that it's so close to the board that you crack the coating on the outside of it.
Gotcha.
It's okay for them to stick up a little.
Kind of makes it a little harder. There we go. A little bit of counterweight here on it. And let's solder these guys. I notice I'm getting a little quicker and a little bit more efficient.
Yeah, you'll definitely get better the more you do it with anything. It'll get easy, and you'll learn technique. There's a lot of technique to it.
Yeah, I can imagine. Just hope I try not to run out of solder. I'm kind of blowing through it. All right, so we got those capacitors. I think it's the is it what I just put on? Yeah, the two capacitors, got those on there.
Mm-hmm. And just kind of, bend the tip of the leg out a little bit so it doesn't fall out.
Oh yeah, that camera's way behind.
I just use a very bare minimum of solder.
Yeah, I thought I was being good, but I'm not being very efficient when it comes to how much solder I'm using, because I am kind of blowing through quite a bit of it, burning it off to try to get that right joint, but that's okay. I have some extra solder, but I don't know if it's got the flex in it.
it should be, as long as it's electronic solder
Uh-huh.
and not like solder you would solder a radiator with, you'll be okay.
Yeah, it came with the soldering iron.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll work. Is it about the same size as that, as the what you're using now?
I think it's the exact same size.
Okay, that'll work. It's perfect.
All right, so next, find the locations for the two 600 ohm to 600 ohm transformers, T1 and T2. I guess that's these big white pieces. Does not matter which side of the transformer goes where. Install the transformers in the holes on both sides of the transformer. Install the transformers in the holes on both sides of the transformer.
It may I don't think it will matter, because they have 3 leads on each side of the transformer.
Okay.
And both the primary and the secondary of the transformers are both the same holes. They're both the same impedance. They're 600 ohm.
Let's see.
It should,
So on the board, there's extra holes.
yeah. There's ones in the middle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it basically you just feed it to that. You just feed it, them through the board, all of them, and you solder them. The ones in the middle are just there. That's the center tap on them, but you don't use that.
There's also 2 on the left side, 2 on the top right side, 2 on the bottom left, and 2 on the bottom right.
Okay.
Let's see if I can.
Yeah, they're.
So there's.
What you look at them is you see the 3 that are in a row on one side, and then there's 3 in a row on the other side.
No, I see.
You're looking at the transform. You see there's 3 in a row on one side, and then 3 wires in a row on one side, and 3 in a row on the other side.
So on one transformer, I'm seeing 2 on one side, 2 on the other side, and the other I see 2 on one side and 2 on the other side.
Okay. Okay, that may be. Can you hold the transformer up?
Yeah, I think it'd do better on the webcam. So I'm gonna show you what I'm dealing with here. So I've got 2 transformers.
I could see pretty good right there on the camera that's pointing at you.
Yeah, so I'm trying to show them on that one. So I'm showing the 2 transformers now. They've got 2 legs on each side. And then the board itself has 2 slots for them, but there are 2 holes on each corner.
Okay. Is the transformer the same way?
No, the transformer has 4 and the board has 8 different joints.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, I see how they are. Okay. Yeah, what I was looking. Okay. If you could get it to focus a little bit. Look on the back side. Show me the back side of the board where the traces are.
Okay. It looks like they're going to the same place.
Yeah. So it won't really make any difference, because what it is, those are different transformers than what I was looking at with the older style kit.
Uh-huh.
And it's got a primary. It's the wires that are on one side of it are the primary, and would be considered the primary, and the other ones would be considered the second. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if if those holes are connected together, well, then it doesn't make any difference which one you put it. It shouldn't make any. It shouldn't make any difference. Let me see. Or wait a minute. Wait.
Yeah, I'll wait before I solder. Because I don't want to do any more desoldering.
Okay. Yeah. What you would probably want to do is go to the holes that are towards the inner part of it. I think.
Yeah, that's the way it's sitting flush.
Yeah, because the outer ones would connect from connect to the audio from PC and the audio to PC. Or the audio to the little sound card dongle, the little sound USB sound card.
Yeah.
That's where you would connect on your audio for the to and from the little USB
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And then the other ones on the opposite side will have the resistor and the capacitor attached to it. You know, because you had the two matching resistors and the two matching capacitors.
Yeah.
Because one of them is your receive audio from your radio, and the other one is your mic audio to the radio.
I know. I see. Kind of dull. Here we go. Nice and shiny. Yeah, a little shaky toward the end here, but finishing strong.
It's looking good so far.
All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Still got 10 viewers. Sorry if you guys are bored to death right now. Looks like we pretty much finished it up here. So let me clean it up, and we'll get a good shot or two of it. And I now know not to set up my phone like I did this time. That looks awful. But after the stream here, I'll get the cables I need ordered and the little other parts I need to finish this thing up. Not the prettiest job in the world, but see if I can get the camera to focus on it. Let's see. We don't need to put it in the holder anymore. See what I can do with it.
The remaining question is, do you still have any solder?
Very little. If I had to solder another piece, don't think I would. But I was pretty inefficient with it.
I've soldered quite a few of these, and that's what I'm usually left with, a little nub.
Yeah, that's about what I was like. My fingers are getting a little warm toward the end. If that tells you anything. But I'm trying to show off the board here. I don't know how it's going to come out on the other end. show that one solder joint if I can get the camera. Yeah, it seems like this as the stream went on, the camera just got slower and slower and slower. But we're about to find out if it focused in all right or not. Let's see. And I'll show it on the webcam too. But on my side, I'm just now getting up to see. Oh yeah, it's gonna focus okay. Oh yeah, you're gonna get a good view here in a second.
Cool.
Or you should. Let me move my webcam back over.
Yeah, it's looking good.
I mean, it's not the prettiest job, but I think for the first time, I think it'll work.
It looks great. You did a good job.
So yeah, awesome. I'm excited to get some use out of this thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Eat it. Eat a tin of Altoids.
yeah. I wish I had one of those 3D printers. That would be awfully nice.
Yeah, I could really. Yeah, you're. I can see it pretty good, but your photo or your shot with you in the picture is covering things up. I could see I could see really good, clear on the other shot.
Yeah, I started to switch over back to the regular webcam after the shot. I didn't know how much of it's just weird on my end. I'm gonna have to. I could solve all those issues if I would upgrade my webcam, which I think that's going to be the next thing.
Yeah.
Because trying to stream over the phone, what I'm doing is I'm using my phone to stream video with and put it in. If I'm trying to stream to the internet and then stream from my phone to my computer at the same time, the quality and everything just goes awful. So yeah, I need to upgrade. What I'll do is upgrade my webcam and then use my old one as my secondary camera, and the new one is my primary camera. Yeah, so I want to thank everybody for watching. If you're still watching, if you have any suggestion videos, let me know. If you want to talk or any questions.
13 people, 12 people.
Yeah, I'm surprised they held on this long. Dude, that was a little painful. But no, that was fun. I'm excited to get some use out of this thing. I feel accomplished. You know, there's a big difference. You know, if you put something together on your own, it feels nice building something with your hands like that. So, yeah, I need to get some little parts ordered and get this thing strung up. Depending on if I go really cheap, I can get them from China, and I might have to wait a couple weeks. But yeah, yep.
Yeah, or you can go to mpja.com, or another place is BG Micro. Out of Dallas, BG Micro. They're online. You can order from them. There's All Electronics, I believe it's the place. There's Mauser.
Thanks, Bobby.
There's a go online and look up like surplus electronics.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, like BG Micro, you can find really good deals.
Yeah, I'll have to do a little shopping after this.
Yeah, or go on Amazon. Amazon and eBay are great places to get parts.
Yeah, I like eBay. A lot of people don't, but man, if I can wait a couple of weeks for delivery to get a little cheap product, I will. I haven't really been burnt too bad doing that, but yeah, I'm gonna That's what I'll do for the next couple parts here, and I'll look at either I'll either look at buying a helping hand from Harbor Freight, or
Mhm.
either that, or start looking into upgrading my webcam.
Yeah,
But
the helping hand's like $5.
shout out to you,
Like,
Macbeth. um, oh, they really just $5. I could have.
yeah,
Well, my Harbor
yeah,
Freight didn't have a whole lot of like soldering stuff, or maybe I was looking in the wrong place. But they just, I don't know if they were just
they
sold
have it
out.
scattered everywhere. They have it scattered everywhere. You just ask and ask for the hemostats. They have them in different places in the store, so you have to go from one place to the other. It's their way to get you to go all over the store and look at everything.
Yeah, yep. And they get me to do that too. I go in and buy, like earlier. I went in for that cleaner, and I ended up buying duct tape and all these brushes, and
Hmm.
it's hard when it's like $1 or $2, and
Hmm.
um, liquid flux might help to solder. Yeah. So that's the stuff that. What does that do again?
It prevents oxidation at the solder joint, and it helps the solder to flow.
Gotcha.
So, and I believe they do have uh, like a flux there at Harbor. They have it there, and they have it at Walmart too.
Grab some coffee real quick.
Yeah, I didn't do I didn't do a whole lot. You did it all. You got it all done. Hmm.
The things, every time you do it, you're gonna get better. So
Yeah, and another thing too, if you want to start getting amassing a some parts and things, sometimes what I'll do is, everybody throws out they throw out electronic stuff, or they'll throw an old computer monitor away.
mhm.
I You wouldn't believe how many good parts I've gotten out of a computer, uh, for like bought one of those switching power supplies from, I believe it was on eBay, and it was like $16 or $17. And
Uh-huh.
I made a front cover for it out of plastic from an old VCR that I cut up, and it looked pretty good. But the switch that I used in it, and the plug that I used for plugging the AC power into, came from a computer monitor from an old one. And so what I do is I open the thing up, and you want to make sure that it's been discharged and everything on the high voltage side. You want to short it out with a screwdriver, make electrocute yourself. But then I would rob the board out of it, and if I can use any of the plastic casing, I might cut off a piece of that and then throw the rest of it away. And it gets, the glass gets broken, recycled, and all that, and plastic would get recycled. But then I take the board and I get one of those heat guns from Harbor Freight. There
Uh-huh.
we go. There we go again with Harbor Freight.
Harbor Freight.
I don't own stock in Harbor Freight, but take one of those heat guns and
Mhm.
heat the backside of it. Like put it over, get you like a big metal can, like what the popcorn comes in, and
Mhm.
lay it with parts facing down inside the can, and then heat the backside of it and tap it with the screwdriver, and or you can actually heat the backside of it. It will heat the solder up, and you can bang the solder off, onto a tray or something, and then the parts will literally fall out of it.
Oh,
And
wow.
you'll have just a bunch of capacitors, resistors, different things like that. I've when I didn't have something else, I've gone through my little tray of spare parts and pulled parts and stuff out of it. I mean, in fact, a capacitor that I used for the Ubitix. I've got a Ubitix version 6, and I added another Arduino Nano to it, and it had a little circuit board that had to have a voltage divider with a capacitor on it. And that capacitor was some parts that I had pulled off of a computer monitor board. And so you can heat that up, and it'll melt that solder, and then you can knock that solder off there, or sling the solder off, or bang the solder off of it,
Mm-hmm.
and just sit there with a pair of needle nose or a pair of the little hemostats, and you just pluck the parts off, and then you put them in your drawer, and you've got little parts there that you didn't have to pay anything.
That's pretty smart. I'm all about free stuff. I like reusing stuff if I can. Yeah, coffee is super important, Macbeth. Yeah, I'm all about saving some money, so there's a Salvation Army near me that always scraps computers and monitors and stuff, and they have monitors there for like $4 and $6 sometimes, and just like I remember one day because I used to go out and actually.
Can you hand me
Yeah. What do you want me?
hand me my robe?
Yeah. One day I went out and I used to try to find as much, that I like electronics, and I'll go out, and one day I built a whole computer. I found a tower, a monitor, a mouse, and a keyboard for about $15. It was really old, but I'm a tech guy, so I can make use of stuff like that sometimes.
Yeah, put Linux on it.
Yeah, it'll run quick. If you put like a bare bones version of Linux on there or something like that, you can use it as like a simple server, a web server or something.
Yeah.
But I think I might call it a stream there.
Yeah.
I think the fiance is wanting some attention, so.
Okay. Sounds good.
But thanks for joining me, John. I really appreciate your help. Thanks for buying me the Easy Digi. I'm excited here to get I might be sending you a text here tomorrow, the next day, asking maybe if your advice on some parts that I find that I might buy for this.
Okay.
And everybody on the stream, those that are still tuned in, thanks for watching. Really appreciate all the support you all always give me. It's really cool to do this thing, once a week. And we'll be back again next week. I don't know what we'll be doing. We'll figure it out. If you guys do have suggestions, I'm always welcome. Tweet at me on Twitter, or comment on the live streams or whatever. I always look at the comments. Sometimes I don't have as much time to reply to everything, but I at least look at the comments, and if I have time to sit down and write a reply that I think that you deserve, I'll sit down and write it. But thanks everybody for watching. 73 to you, and let me know what kind of content and other live streams you might want to see me do here. 73.